Hi, this is Steve Rybrook from Ledgeview Partners. And in this video, we'll be discussing opportunity management and some of the business processes related to that in our CRM for oil and gas product that we developed on top of Microsoft Dynamics 365. So before we jump into the demonstration, just a quick overview of Ledgeview Partners. We are a business and technology consulting firm. We offer business advice, process definition, and technology solutions to help you with your business. And the circles here kind of represent some of the specific things that we do. Pretty much anything related to sales, marketing, and service. We try to match the right technology with your business processes. So with that in mind, let's flip over to CRM and talk about opportunity management. All right, so I'm in CRM, and I think I'll just start by pulling up a specific opportunity. So I'm just kind of navigating to the opportunity section. And this is a list of all of the open opportunities that are in the system. And what I can do is, if I want to, I can just look at my open opportunities. So I can narrow down the list to just the opportunities that I'm in charge of. So right now looks like I'm working on about 16 different opportunities. And I'll just grab this first one here to make it simple, just to show you some of the things that we've done with the opportunity screen itself. So when you're managing an opportunity, some of the questions that you can fill out are things like, what department is this opportunity for? So if your company has multiple departments, maybe you're in lubricants, maybe you're also sell fuel, maybe you've got a service department, maybe you've got, it doesn't matter. If you have multiple departments, we can configure CRM to handle that. You can record what brand you're pushing, an opportunity type. As I scroll down just a little bit here, some real important things are how big of an opportunity is this as far as revenue, gross profit, and volume goes. And it's up to you as an organization, which of these are critical to you. Another big thing that's important to our system is this estimated close date. We do a lot of analysis based on this date and your fiscal year, and we calculate some prorated numbers. So if you're halfway in, you're going to be halfway into the year by the time it gets to be July, even though this estimate is going to pull in 52,000 units, you're probably only going to recognize half of them if you only have half of the year left. So that's where that comes into play. And then I guess the last thing I'll point out on the opportunity screen is just this business process on how you actually move an opportunity through the stages of that process. So you start out an opportunity in the qualify stage, and when you start meeting with the customer, you pretty much just move it over to needs and solutions. And when you find out what they need, you put together a proposal and you go and do a presentation. Hopefully they accept the proposal, and then you move them over into this activate and transition until maybe their credit app gets processed or until they place their first order, and then you can officially close this as a win. And to move it along the sales stage is pretty simple. So if I'm in the presentation stage, ultimately what I need to do here is do the presentation, and hopefully they accept the proposal. And if they do, I just basically click here and answer the question, and then I could click next stage, and it would advance this opportunity over to the activate and transition stage. Okay, so that was just an overview of how you would manage one opportunity. Let's take a look at now, if I wanted to look at how is my overall pipeline look. So we have a lot of dashboards and reports that can help with that. So I'm just going to jump over to some dashboards, and I'm not going to go over all of them. I think the last time I checked, we had 12 dashboards and 56 charts. So lots of analysis to do on pipeline management. So I think I'll just start out with a real simple one that is really just analyzing how many open opportunities do we have right now. And what this is showing me over here on the left is how many open opportunities do I have by the month that they were created. So you can kind of see if you're having some stuff out there that maybe is a little bit old. How many open opportunities do I have by department? How many open opportunities does each person have? And then as I scroll down, we look back at the most recent 12 months and we show you wins versus losses, again, based on month, department, and person. So that's one way just to analyze your pipeline. Another way that's real common is to analyze the gross profit, let's say, or the volume that's in your pipeline. So I'll just pick gross profit here. All these charts are the same. They're just using different data, different numbers. So now I'm looking at how much gross profit is in my pipeline by department, by person, and then what most people think of their pipeline is by sales stage. So how much do I have in the pipeline by each sales stage? Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but with all of these charts, you can interact with the data. So, I mean, charts are great, but many times they'll trigger a question. Like, I might look at this chart right over here and go, wow, I've got like $50,000, in sales stage 4. We're about to close these deals. I wonder what those are. That's all I need to do is click this little button here. And what it does, I'll just make this a little bit wider. What it does is it puts the data next to the chart. So now I'm looking at all of those opportunities in the system. And this is just a graphical representation of that. So if I just click on this section, it'll narrow this list down to the 14 opportunities that are in that activate and transition stage. So I don't want to get too carried away here, but if this list is even too long, I mean, maybe this is good and you've got the answers you need, but if this was too long, you could actually make a chart of that data by just saying, okay, how do I want to chart that? Maybe I want to chart that by owner, which is salesperson. So now I'm just looking at the gross profit by salesperson, by what we call owner, that are in sales stage 4, activate and transition. And I could drill into that if I wanted to and narrow down the list again just to Steve's opportunities that are in sales stage 4. So really a nice way to interact with your data. So the charts are great, but we want you to easily be able to get the answers that you need. All right, just a few more. I'm not going to go through every single one of our dashboards, but I'll just grab one or two more here. We did some analysis to help you kind of with your gap to goal analysis, just to see, how close are we to hitting our goal at the end of the year. So here's what's in my pipeline. Overall, I showed you this one already. Here's an analysis that's looking at that same pipeline, but it's only looking at the opportunities that are going to close this year. And I'm also showing you the prorated gross profit. And then over here, we just did some analysis on your opportunities over the last 24 months, and we're showing you win percentages and loss percentages and whatnot. So it looks like I win about 37% of my deals. We do the same thing for volume. And then over here, we're also showing you how big your opportunities are and how long it usually takes to get through the sales process. So just a nice way to look at your pipeline. We've also got some trending analysis. I'll just pull up another one here. I think this one's looking at volume. So I'm looking back the last 12 months. I'm looking forward the next 90 days or 3 months. And then here's another kind of look back at, how many opportunities I had and whatnot. So just another way of taking all your data and helping you kind of see where you're at and trending. I guess the last thing I'll point out is you always want to kind of keep an eye to make sure that your data is clean. So we've got one for a sales manager to use to kind of look at the overall health of their pipeline in terms of accuracy. So you really want this dashboard to almost be blank. So what this is looking at in this section, it's showing me all of the opportunities by month, basically how many have an estimated close date that's in the past. So obviously you're not going to close an opportunity in the past. So all estimated close dates should be in the future. So these need to be cleaned up. Here's a section for opportunities that haven't been updated in 30 days. Here's opportunities that have been stuck in a stage for over 45 days. So there might be a reason for some of those. And then over here, we have a feature where you can move an opportunity to fallback. So we just want to make sure you're aware that, hey, some of these opportunities have kind of fallen off your pipeline and they're stuck in fallback. So it just shows you how many of those there are. Okay, so enough on dashboards. Just kind of wrap up here with a couple reports. So we have a few reports in the system to help you analyze your pipeline. I'll just maybe describe a couple of these and maybe we'll even run one real quick. So we do have a plain old pipeline report, but all those dashboards I showed you is kind of made this one almost obsolete. So I'm not going to talk about that. Just a way to build a chart based on your criteria, but we've gotten so many charts now within our dashboards. I don't think anybody really uses that one anymore. Another nice one is if you want to analyze your close rates. We've got a couple reports for that. That's one I think I'll do a quick run on. Another one, you can analyze how long it takes an opportunity to move through the sales process. So you can analyze by person, by department, by industry. How long do these opportunities sit in each stage? And then one final one here is just basically a dump of all your data. That just lists tons of information about each opportunity, because we have a fair amount of clients who want to report that information up to their supplier. So it's a great way to dump the data, export it to an Excel or a CSV file, and send it over to your supplier so they'll know what's in your pipeline for the business you're trying to drum up for them. All right, so real quick, let's just run one of these close rate reports. And you can filter out some of the data if you only want to do it on certain things. I'll just stick with the defaults here for today's example. And I'll just pick a really big range so I get lots of data in here so it's real clear what we're doing here. So I'm just going to run the report. It asks me how I want to group all my opportunities, and I'm just going to analyze my team right now. So I'm going to do it by owner. And I just hit view report. And I just want to let you know this is just test data. But what it's looking at, I'll just kind of take my line, for example. Looks like over that time period, I won 7 opportunities and I closed 9. So that's not bad. I've got a 77% win ratio. We also show some dollar figures associated with all of the wins and then all of the opportunities you closed as well, just to kind of help you with your analysis. So some of the power of this report is kind of this grouping. So if, hey, now I see it by owner, maybe within owner, I want to break that down by department. So that just takes this down to another level of detail. So I could look at Steve and see how he did on his clean burn opportunities versus his lubricants, right? How did Michael do? And it looks like Michael has been, trying to drum up business for lots of our departments. How is he doing? Obviously, this is test data, so we're looking really well, right? We're winning most of our opportunities. So that's just an example of some of the power we have with some of the reports and dashboards we have, along with obviously just managing and maintaining your individual opportunities or your pipeline. All right, I think that wraps it up. I'm just going to take it right back here to the slides. And as I wrap up, I just want to let you know that if you want to take a deeper dive into this oil and gas product we built for CRM, or if you want to learn anything else about the services that we offer here at LedgeView, feel free to reach out to Jean, and she would be glad to help you out. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.